What is up, guys? JD here. I hope you're doing well today. We got a new one in from Vosteed. I'm really excited to check it out. Let's get it. All right, guys, we have the new and dramatically improved Vosteed Martin. We have contoured aluminum scales with an anodized backspacer and thumb studs. Top liner lock. I love that they put a little bit of knurling on here for some grip. Way to go. We have T8 construction here for the standoff screws, and then you have a fold over deep carry pocket clip. I didn't check. Got to check that. Steel pocket clip. I think that's probably how they're able to manage the price on this one a little bit. But I really love the contrast of that purple and this really beautiful blue. Thumb stud action. Very well-tuned detent on that top liner lock. You got a very thinly ground 154 cm blade on here that has some grit on there or some gunk on there from where I was opening packages. I do apologize for that. I do try my best to clean these up to showcase them for you guys. They did a nice job on that factory edge as well. Super thin blade stock. I mean, it gets down super thin behind the edge, and they keep it thin throughout that grind, almost a full flat. Just a little hint here on the top. They did give you a nice choke up spot here. I can trigger choke up. That allows me to get out here to do some more dedicated detail work, be able to have that control on some push cuts, and then I can move back and choke up easily to be able to get a full grip and push through thicker, more dense materials. Locked up solid even after all the use that I've done with this one. Very, very, very smooth action, and the scales on here and the grip and everything are fantastic. I think they absolutely killed it. Moving up on the size of this one, it is a little bit snug for me, so I do hang off the back slightly when I choke back, and then when I choke up I have plenty of space, but I am able on that first knuckle to clear that blade, and it is a very useful blade, which I can appreciate a ton. When I move up and I kind of share this elongated slot, I'm able to get 2 fingers in there, and then I'm able to get that pinky up on there, and I'm a little tight here, but it is so well chamfered that it's not a real hot spot at all. You got that ceramic bearings internally. You have aluminum outer scales with steel liners. The steel liner in here is extremely well hollowed out so that you have a lot of weight relief on that steel liner. And then obviously this side is your lock bar side, so only a small relief cut back here. They don't do any other weight relief on there to make sure that they don't compromise the integrity on this one. In my opinion, this is going to be a nice all-arounder, good EDC for you to use on the day-to-day. You could carry this into the office. You could take this and break down a bunch of boxes. That 154 cm is going to have really good edge retention, and then it's going to turn around and be super easy to maintain and manage, in my opinion. Man, just really, really fidgety on this particular one, and lefties will be able to totally take advantage of this without any issues, in my opinion. It's not going to get in the way when you try to choke up. The contouring on it keeps that from engaging with the index finger, and then choked up, it ends up being, for me, right in between the 2 fingers there. So I have not had any issues squeezing or anything. I've never felt it break loose testing it left-handed, and I think you'd be safe on this particular one if you were a left-handed man. That blue is absolutely stunning. Great color choice. Let's go ahead and do some size comparisons, and then we'll weigh the knife. All right, so I do have my Fenrir here from Tenable on the top. That is a little bit of a larger size, full size knife. And then I have the new Kaiser Original 2 down here. And I grabbed this one specifically because I wanted you to see that even though they slightly increased the size of this new Martin, to accommodate more hands. They didn't go crazy, right? The Fenrir, still a larger knife, and the original 2 is very comparable, even though it may be just slightly smaller. All right, here's the Bodacious, which is a common knife that I use for the size comparison. And then down here, you have the Psyop 299. Again, you can see they did make the Martin slightly larger, but they didn't go crazy with it. It's still within the unicorn space of being a good sized for EDC, going to be minimal print, going to accommodate small hands good, medium hands very well, large hands very well, and larger hands like mine, it is going to work. Just going to be a little tight, but not bad. Again, this will be a nice summertime carry knife. It's going to be a good companion carry knife. It'll be something nice that you can take into the office as well. Let me get these out of the way and we'll go ahead and check the weight on the new Martin. All right, scale is out and on and centered. If I had to guess, I would think this is probably like 3.8. Coming in at 3.9 ounces, so they were able to keep it under 4 with full steel liners, aluminum scales, steel hardware, and that 154 cm blade. Good job, Vosteed. All right, guys, time for final thoughts and impressions on the new Martin. I really like this one. What I'm taking into consideration when I score this is going to be the materials used, the price point, the fit and finish, the ergos, aesthetics, and money for value. So this one here is really well done. I don't see any issues with it whatsoever. It's very well constructed. I like it a ton. We'll take it apart here in a moment. I'm just going to check the skiff size because I know some folks are going to want to see that. For me, on this particular one, with the materials that are being used, I'm at a 7.6. I really like this one a lot. It is one of those unique ones where 154 cm is a very high-end, affordable steel. The aluminum material, to me, can be used both in the budget realm and in the premium realm. And then your steel hardware allows this to be at that unique price point where it's just a little bit over 100, but well worth it in my opinion, especially in this variant. This is very stunning. And then they have a couple of new finishes as well. If you're not going to stay for the disassembly, if you enjoyed today's video, a like would be appreciated. If you're not subscribed, definitely consider subscribing. Your subscription goes a long way in supporting the channel. Shout out and thanks to my channel members out there. Appreciate you guys. That's it for me today. I'm out of here. I'll catch you on the next one. Goodbye. And if you are sticking around, we're going to jump into the disassembly. All right, I think I'm high enough up on the screen here. The only thing I didn't remember to check were the pocket clip screws. And they do look like they want you to take it apart from this side. So let me grab my T6 really quick. We'll take this pocket clip off. That way we can get the outer scale off of the internal liner. All right, now that the pocket clip is out of the way, let's go ahead and remove the body screws. I am noticing that the Cerakote or coating, it is taking a little bit of a hit already from going in and out of the pocket. When it comes out the pocket clip just kind of digs into it. Also, maybe when I'm holding on to the pocket clip, when I'm flicking it open, that might be another point where it's kind of moving around. So just keep that in mind. I would flip it right away if you are a lefty. And Vosteed, I'd probably consider throwing like a little plastic tab in there. Wouldn't cost very much. And it'll save that for folks that want to flip it to the left-hand side. Sorry, I thought I got this out, but it just keeps unscrewing. Wow. So that is a very deeply threaded pivot screw. What did I miss? What did I miss? Nothing. There we go. So we'll take the aluminum scale off and let you take a quick look at that and set that to the side. And since this is going to be on the tail end of the review video, I do not need to do a picture. We can, oh, that's going to be in the way of the skiffs. All right, here. If I remember right, I've always done better taking these apart. Yeah, with the blade open. but it looks like it does not want to come loose from the back end, and I may need a little help here. This, I'm gonna move this over here with that hardware and make sure I'm not touching the blade. Yeah, that top liner lock does not want to come off. Now I'm going to hold the blade in place and see if I can just wiggle it. There we go. And get that to come out of place. There we go. There we go. There we go. It brought the stop pin with it. Move that over there. That is my titanium pry bar. Very nice. These are very thin. These are like 1 millimeter bearings. Let's check and see what bearings, these actually are. Just at a quick glance, I would want to guess that they are, that is really in there. Oh, there we go. That they are going to be, and just so you can see how this top liner lock works, it engages on the back of the stop pin and on the bottom to the blade, so right on that shelf there. So that is how it is like the compression lock. And the fact that, yeah, 6 millimeter, and I'm thinking these are 1 millimeter. Nope, 6 millimeter, 364. I don't even know if I have that size, guys. Let's see. I don't know that I have that. My 6 millimeter in the back. 6 millimeter 1/16. 6 millimeter 1 millimeter. And 3/16. Yeah, these are all 5 millimeter. Yep. So I don't have this particular size. So we're going to be reinstalling the factory bearings, which have been riding on those steel liners anyway. Not too far gone to where I could have done the swap, but they seem to be working well, and I don't have the size. So I will order a set of these size just in case manufacturers are going to be switching to this in the future. All right, let's go ahead and finish cleaning her up and getting her lubed and ready to be reassembled, guys. All right, let's see here. Yeah, a little bit of grit. A little bit of grit there. It looks like it is a captive pivot. For those that may want to know, there's the answer to that question. And actually, yeah, it was just starting to track those bearings. I have all of the tools that I use along with the lubes that I recommend linked down below. I trust Hopscotch oil on my firearms, which is why I trust them on my pocket knives. So I'm going to go ahead and reinstall these. It appeared as if the closed side or the solid side of the stamp bearing was actually facing into the blade. I usually see these where they make the pockets, the openings go into the pockets, but in this instance, they did not do that. So I'm going to put the opening stop pin back in. I'm sorry, yeah, opening stop pin back in there. Got lube still left on this bearing. Go ahead and just coat the bearings themselves. And actually, I think I have that backwards. I think it was like that? Yeah, I think it was like that. I think I did that backwards. I think I did that backwards. Somebody's going to be yelling at me in the comments. You did it backwards. I don't know that it would matter a terrible amount, to be honest with you. And then, sorry, my T10 is rolling around over here. You know what I don't think I did? I pulled one out, but I don't think I used my circuit board cleaning Q-tip here to hit the detemp ball hole. FYI, it's clean. All right, let's see here. It looks like the detemp ball hole is just riding ever so slightly above. Just make sure I hit this lock bar. I don't want to create any lock stick at all. And the fun thing about these is that they actually go back together super easy, even though they are a little bit of a pain to take apart. Oh, I say that, but this guy here is not going back in. What is happening? I have the blade resting on the table. There we go, just in case you were wondering. Now it's lined up. So I have the opening stop pin lined up. I have the pivot in, and I had this standoff in. Maybe not. The tolerances certainly are very tight on these. Let me see if I can just try to get the pivot and one standoff going. I'm not going to over tighten it. I'm just going to sit it down. There we go. And then let me grab just one of the standoff screws and see if I can get this to seat. Oops. There we go. See here, pop. That went in there. I think I might have gone a little tight. We're center though. Just see, make sure I didn't. All right, I felt some pressure release there, which tells me I might have been a little too tight. Looks like we're centered. Little bit of play. I can definitely go just a touch tighter. Still smooth and locked up solid. Let's go ahead and throw the last standoff and pocket clip on there, and we will be done. For those that hung out to see the disassembly of this one. Right. Check everything. Make sure that we are good to go. Everything's locked up solid. Nothing moving there. Let's grab our pocket clip. Try to encourage him to sit down, but he's not doing that today. All right. Alrighty, there you go. Full disassembly and look inside of the new, larger Vosteed Martin, guys. Thanks for hanging out to the end. If you did that today, appreciate it. And again, as I mentioned earlier, if you enjoyed the content, a like would be appreciated. It goes a long way in helping the channel when you subscribe. Special shout out and thanks to my channel members, as I mentioned earlier. Love you guys. That's it for me today. I'm out of here. I'll catch you on the next one. Goodbye.